Having a little demon running around your head and saying nasty things to you every single day is not a fun thing, isn't it? All your negative thoughts gets to end today. All your negative thoughts get to be out of your life today. And it takes a lot of awareness for that to happen. I'm going to be diving a little bit deeper here today, and you will be able to tap into your truth and allowing yourself to take yourself to a point where these thoughts don't get to be here anymore. Welcome back to Awaken with Tina. My name is Tina for those of you who are new. And I would like to invite you into this safe space where I want to go deep into the negative thoughts. I want to go deep into why they don't get to belong in your life and how you can get rid of them once and for all. The first thing that you need to know here is understanding deeply that they don't belong. And deeply that they are not you. And deeply that there are some thoughts that are useful and helpful and neutral, and there are some thoughts that are just not really for your highest good. They're torturous, they're sabotaging, evil even. So take a moment and just have this realization with yourself. What happens here is we have been conditioned in society to think negatively, to criticize, to think of the worst case scenarios, to live in fear and anxiety. I mean, look around us, right? The fears on the news, on everything, someone's dying, someone's shooting, there's bombs, there's all these things with politics, like all of these things going on. And we never truly feel safe. And what happens when you feel safe? You started to be in this zone, fear, anxiety, doubt, stress, like all of these things get to play out. And when you're in this zone, your mind cannot think straight. Your mind can start making up 10 million examples of why something wouldn't go well. All the negative things and thoughts in your head become very detrimental to your well-being, to your mental health, when they don't allow you to function as a normal human being in your truest and highest alignment, when they prevent you from taking the steps that you want to take, when they prevent you from saying, yes, of course, this is for me, but instead you feel fear and you think, why this might not work out. You want to go to that sexy boy, that sexy girl and say hi, introduce themselves. But somehow, no, they're going to think that you're creepy. No, they're going to think that you're weird. No, don't do it. You're going to make a fool of yourself. What is this even? As if there has been a virus. There has been a parasite. And it is like that. In a lot of shamanic practices, they refer to this as the mind parasite. This is the parasite of the mind that is kind of like a disease, right? It's like this parasite that is talking false to you, that is inferring doubts and fear and all sorts of things that are not for your highest good. And what happens here is we start to believe them. I was having a conversation with a Peruvian shaman, I believe it was earlier last year, and we were talking about how there has been this study showing that people believe the majority of their thoughts. But the thing is, the majority of their thoughts are lies. The majority of the thoughts that you have are negative. But we believe almost 100%, if not 100% of our thoughts. So what does that make us? It makes us that we are so prone to believing in the lies, the pesticides. So if there is a voice in your head saying that you're not good enough, you'll believe it. If there's a voice saying that, oh, don't do it, you'll be creepy. Yeah, it's true. So what happens here is that we have to have awareness, because awareness will take you into a position of power. Awareness allows you to look at, not in a place of this victim, get eaten by the mind virus, is you're looking at it from a third person. from a higher perspective. You're seeing you as a person, and you're seeing this mind parasite is eating at you. This little freaking bug eating at you. And then you get to say, oh, why does it do that? That doesn't seem right. We need to remove this bug. So this happens when you are fully aware that there is a bug. You know what I mean? You cannot change something that you are not aware of, because this is why I always say awareness is key. Allow yourself to be fully aware that there is a malfunction, bug, there is a parasite, a mind virus, whatever you want to call it. Give it some gross name. This effing thing, right? This thing that is just eating away your joy. It's eating away your worth. It's eating away your well-being. And you have to decide in this moment, are you going to let it? Are you going to let this thing spitting false, right? Spitting doubts, instilling fear in your life, preventing you of doing the very things that you know your soul is aligned with? Maybe it's about starting that business. Maybe having an online platform. Maybe it's doing what you really love. But then, oh no, but what if this happened? Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. So first, number one is awareness. I want you guys to write this down in your notebook if you feel called to. You can also comment it down below. And the second thing, I want you to give reasons. Give reasons why you're not going to give in to this parasite. Because unless we spell it out, unless we tell it to our face, give some tangibility on this. And I talked a little bit about this in my earlier videos of how thoughts, this invisible force, gets to run your life. But actually, when you put it on pen and paper, journal it out, you're giving some tangibility to it. And when you look at this, you're like, oh, this makes no sense. Why would I think like that? That's just silly. So really write it out and spell it out for yourself. Why? How detrimental is it to have them in? Why is it that you must get rid of these mind viruses? Why these mind viruses no longer have a free rent, a free home in your mind? In your beautiful mind, in your mind full of creativity, innovation. Why do you give free rent to this parasite? So when you realize of all of these reasons, give yourself all of these reasons. You can also share them with me down below. Would love to hear all your amazing reasons why this parasite doesn't get to have a home in your mind. And all of a sudden, it's starting to make sense in your head. Right? We sometimes have to talk to ourselves in that way so that we can see the tangibility of it. Talk to yourself. This makes no sense. Start telling yourself that it doesn't make sense. And why is this fear here, this doubt here? Maybe it's this old identity that you are clinging on to. Maybe there's a part of you that is still wounded. And maybe there's the child in you that's still wounded. Maybe at whatever years old, 5 years old, 7 years old, when you start speaking, you got shut down. Like what happened to me? When I came to Canada with not knowing a word of English, I was being made fun of. I was being bullied and teased, and kids laughed at me and called me racist name. You know? And of course, that fear and that wound stuck with me. And it took me so many years to realize that, oh my gosh, when I'm a full-blown adult, I still carry these wounds. And they're still eating me alive. And they're still preventing me from doing the things that I want to do. To speak up, to say what I need to say, to share what I need to share, to spread love and positivity in the world. What's so wrong with spreading love and positivity in the world? Am I doing something sinful? I don't think so. But why is my mind telling me that I shouldn't do it? That makes no sense. So when you start to see how detrimental it is, you will snap right into your wise, your intelligent, your adult brain. Because a lot of us, we operate from this child brain when we are in fear. It takes us back to that moment when we were a child, when we were in fear. But then we have to snap ourselves back saying, yes, Maybe these things happened when we were younger, but we are no longer that person. We are no longer that vulnerable, that I didn't know better child, younger self. We are older, we are wiser, we are more intelligent, we know what we know now. So we must act from a place of what we know now. So when you start to snap out from the wounded child, this is the work that I do a lot with my inner circle, my private clients. And if you guys want to know more about what I do and how all of this works, see the links in the description. And you can also reach out to me on my Instagram at Awaken with Tina if you want to do some private work together. This is the energy where you have to be really honest with yourself. And being brutally honest that, right, I can see that parts of me are acting out of that wounded little younger version. And until you realize and until you admit to yourself that this is actually what happened, not a place of guilt and shame and, feeling bad about yourself. It's not about that blaming. It's about awareness. About, I am, and I'm not acting in my power. So then in that moment, you have a choice. In that moment, you have a choice to say, who do I desire to be? Who do I know that I am truly? And in that moment, you will realize that who you are, the person that you want to become, is not the one who operates from fear. It's not the one who's going to not do what they want to do. It's not going to be the one that runs away when things get tough. You know deep in your heart, the version of you that you are becoming, that you choose to become, is the version of you that is a total badass. It's a total liberated version. It's a loving human being. It's the one who dares to go after their dreams, their goals. It's the one who smiles and be in peace and get to live in abundance. You know that. So you have to decide right now. Are you taking a step towards that person today, or are you walking backwards and back into that wounded child version of you that you no longer are? And when you spell it to yourself like that and have that hard conversation with yourself, your soul, your heart, your mind will activate. I promise you. Something in you will click when you spell it out like that. And what happens here is that your mind will start to shift. Your energy will start to shift, and you realize you've been giving your power away to this freaking parasite. You will realize that your power has been given away to fear, to doubt, to self-sabotage. And then at this point, you will realize, oh my gosh, F that. I don't want that. That makes no freaking sense. And when that magical moment, when you realize this makes no effing sense, that's when you change. That's when these things don't become a thing anymore. You get to see them. You say, F you. Bye, I don't need you. Thank you, but no thank you. This is something that I was sharing in my Unapologetically Me masterclass, and it was so fire. We laughed, we cried, we dropped F-bombs. Oh my gosh, it was everything. But this is the energy where I would like to invite you to tap into more. Sometimes we get frustrated and we lash out at ourselves, we lash out at other people. Why don't we direct this energy, redirect and transmute this energy to the very parasites that are living and having free rent in your mind? They don't get to. You don't get to, honey. Move out, okay? Hashtag move out parasite. No free rent for you, okay? Can we drop that below, please? Someone needs to make this a trend. So allow yourself to come to this, and you will soon realize, I'm a free person. I'm powerful. I get to decide. These things don't get to run me. So step into your power today. Allow yourself to remind yourself, I am powerful. Okay, you can say this out loud with me. Write it in your journal. Comment it down below. I am powerful. I am powerful. I now choose to call back my power. I now choose to call back my power. I now choose to call back my cower. Call it back now. Feel it in your heart. Let me know down below how this makes you feel. Like this video if you liked it. And in this video, I talk more about how to release old identity. Guys, I love you so much. Connect with me on my Instagram if you haven't. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And enjoy your day. I believe in you. You can do it.